Grand Rising, loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite spiritual advisor and sexist, Empress Oracle. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. It also happens to be 111, so make a wish and make it good. Make sure you're manifesting nothing but positive things into your life for yourself. Don't worry about anybody else because at this point in time, everybody has to lay in the bed that they made. Anywho, besides that, today I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I feel a lot of people tread lightly over for what I don't know. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about social media and self-worth because it really is a thing that is affecting everybody. I can't even say just, my culture, your culture, our culture, African American culture. It's really affecting everybody. A lot of people are basing their self-worth off of, how popping they are on social media or who gives them a shout out or, how many followers they can gain at X, Y, and Z. And let me tell you something. What we fail to realize is but what we should have also noticed by now is that for some reason people tend to be have the spotlight shown on them more when they're doing negative things. And a lot of times the things that we see in social media that tend to be glorified the most are the things that serve us the least. And that is having a lot of people feel like doing the right thing is not the right thing. That has a lot of people feeling like being a good person is not the right thing. That has a lot of people acting out of character for likes, exposing themselves in ways that, are going to bite them in the ass in the future for likes, for clout. You know how they say do anything for clout, but some shit you just should not do. And I'm just going to say that if it's not you being true to yourself, you shouldn't be doing it. And a lot of times people are so used to being perceived a certain way in social media. They're so used to being perceived one way that whenever they may have a change or they may attain enlightenment or they may start their own spiritual journey or their path, they would rather cover it up and not show that side because they feel as though their peers around them are going to look at them differently. They feel like they're going to lose followers, they're going to lose likes, and people are going to say, oh, this person is fake, this person switched up X, Y, and Z. But let me tell you something. Like I love to say all the time, to thy own self be true. And it's never too late for anybody to change. And your self-worth, if it is dictated off of what you receive from others, outside sources, entities, energies, likes, and all that stuff, you're never going to be satisfied. Your self-worth, your self-esteem, and all that needs to come from yourself. And if you wake up one morning and you decide that you want to be a better person, fuck what everybody on social media is saying. Do you, okay? Because let me tell you something. There are so many followers and not enough leaders. So many sheep and not enough shepherds. And the best way for us to get the change that we wish to see in society is to be the change, especially on social media. Don't just do it behind closed doors where nobody can see it. Live your truth out loud. Be the change out loud. Put it out there so that the young people coming up behind us can see that, so that they can realize that it is time for a change. It's time for difference, so that they can know what's really good. So we can change the way the whole algorithm on how we feed our society and our youth. So we can change all of that so that they can realize that it is okay. Because once one person takes that step fearlessly and steps out and shows their true colors and is their true self and is living up to their highest good, others will follow. It may take time, but it will happen. Because another thing for a lot of people, perception is reality. And a lot of times the things that we perceive on social media, that's not really reality. That's what people are trying to project. But that's not really reality. Social media causes people to believe that their value lies in the material wealth of what people don't realize is that majority of the people who look at me fucking up my words, but majority of the people who cast that image, they really don't have any substance. I'm telling you, a lot of times, because we're young, because we're such a microwave day and age, so we just want things quick and fast, we really don't pay attention to the context clues in these pictures. We don't pay attention to what people are really projecting, what they're really putting out there. But we have to start, because we're seeing now that the things that we look over and we think people are just talking or they just putting these things out here, it really makes a difference to us as a whole. It influences a lot of people. And because of their platform, they will build a facade in order to make people of substance feel as though they have to dumb themselves down, right? Or be more shallow or superficial in order to be socially acceptable. And that's not the case. For so long, we had people believing that, okay, in order to be a supermodel, you had to be thin, you had to be tall. In order to be a rapper, you had to have a 5-page record and, have at least one felony under your belt. In order to be a fashion designer, you had to be gay. You had to be an old woman. I can't even say old white lady, an old woman, right? We had so many ideals and so many things that were put out there for their platforms. And then we also had, okay, in order to be, an Instagram model or a video girl or on a magazine cover, you can't have an education. You just have to be pretty. No, there's nothing wrong, because let me tell you something. One thing that I have realized, a lot of people, if you really, really pay attention to a lot of the people who back in the day were like the superstars, the movie stars and all that, if you notice, they have all taken a step back from the limelight, and now they're walking in their true purposes as humanitarians. Now they're finding, it's a shame that a lot of them, it took for them to get older and to go through a lot of life experiences, but everybody has their path and everybody has their journey. However, people are put into these platforms to be their true selves. The test is to be your true self on that platform. You can be smart. You can be beautiful. You can be a rapper and have a college degree. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Before you become a rapper, as a matter of fact, you can be a rapper and have a family man. You can be an NBA player and have a family. And we have people who have been confident enough to break those stereotypes. We have the LeBron Jameses, the Stephen Currys. We even have the Kevin Gates, who has changed his life. And look at him now. Look at him now, a very spiritual, family-oriented man who has a past. Everybody has a past. However, the thing is, once you get those platforms, instead of living up to the stereotypes that have been programmed into us by society in order to keep us in that box, the goal for us now is, when we have these platforms on social media, we need to break that cycle. We need to break those stereotypes. We need to break out of that and let people know that we are not one-trick ponies. None of us should be one-trick ponies. None of us should be a stereotype, because those stereotypes are what the man, okay, and all the racist people that was storming the Capitol, them type folks, that's the stereotypes and the boxes that they wanted to put us in to make us feel lower than them or lower than who we truly are. And all of us need to let our lights truly shine, all right? There's a lot of smart, educated people who are also creatives, who have platforms. And just because you step into the limelight of social media in one particular venue, one particular lane, one particular platform, don't box yourself in. Don't box yourself in. You can do anything you want to. Once you have your platform, that's your time to go. That's your time to shine. Fuck what everybody else is saying. It doesn't matter if people judge you on social media, because they should not determine your self-worth. Your self-worth should come from who you truly are, how you value yourself, and what you are capable of, and the good that you put out there into the internet and into the world. Because believe it or not, as much people who are going to try to bash you for it, there's a whole bunch of other people who's watching you who are not going to say anything, but you're helping to feed their soul and give them the confidence to step out of their shell and to do the things that they were called to do as well, right? You're helping other people to attain their self-worth by being your true self and being your highest self, okay? And breaking those stereotypes. It is okay to be an influencer on social media and also be beautiful and also be smart and also be creative. You don't have to just do just one thing. There's so many people out here, thank God, and it's mainly minorities who are breaking these molds and these stereotypes. And I'm so grateful and thankful and blessed that I am a minority. I am strong enough and bold enough to break that stereotype. And I am blessed and highly grateful that I have a voice and I have a platform, no matter how small it is, that I can influence other people like myself and even not like myself. You don't have, your skin color does not determine if you're a minority. If people have always categorized you or put you down or cast you as the black sheep, then fuck it, you're a minority. But I'm here to tell you that you can break out of that. You dictate who you are. Use your platform on social media. Start with just one person. It doesn't matter. Use it to make a change, because the time is now. As I've been telling you guys, it's a new world order. The time is now. If you pay attention, you'll notice that majority of the people, though, who try to make you feel like you have to dumb yourself down on these platforms, or they try to keep you categorized in the box, right? They're not truly happy themselves. They're not. The people who all they have to show is just their good looks and just flash, their money, their jewelry, this girl, that girl, just, the new flavor of the week and the month and stuff, but they really have no true substance. They're not really happy. Material things come and go. You can't be buried with that shit. Once you leave this world, that shit's going to stay with you. What really makes a lasting effect is the things that you do, what you say, how you act. That's going to live on forever. That is going to live on forever. A lot of times they actually use these material things as a band-aid or a cloak for deeper issues that, that remain unresolved. Money cannot buy you love. Money cannot buy you self-worth. Money cannot buy you happiness, right? A lot of people say they'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce and X, Y, and Z, but why cry? Work on yourself so that you don't even have to cry. You should not have to depend on somebody to give you, financial things to cover up the wounds that they're giving you, and you display that on social media, and it makes you feel like it's okay, because it's not. There's so many influencers out here that are, they're selling their souls, they're selling their self-worth, their self-value, all for the almighty dollar. At the end of the day, love is the highest power of all. Material things, money, yes, it does buy a lot of things, but love is the highest power of all. And love starts within. It starts with yourself. All right? And the self-worth, the impression that we're putting out here for our generations to follow, a lot of times we may think of it as, oh, okay, this person is showing these material things that they have accrued, and I want to accrue that as well. But we also need to realize that while we're doing that, we also need to be telling the youth, the generations growing up behind us, that yes, these material things that I have are great. However, I have something to show for it. I have a brain. I can do both. Because for so long, we were raised to believe that no, it was one or the other, right? You had the nerds and then you had the fly guys and shit like that. You couldn't do both. It's very important for us to let them know that you can have both. Let them know, okay, I know my worth, and it's not in these material things. I have all these things. This is nice and great too, but I'm also a good person. I'm also humanitarian. Do humanitarian things the same way y'all flossing your jewelry and shit, right? Go out there and do a fundraiser, volunteer work, right? Not just when it's the holidays to look good so that Santa stuff another Bentley in your stocking or whatever. No, do it from the heart. Be an example to our youth. They need that. Speak to the youth. Use your platform to do more than just gossip. Because the social media influencers, that's why you are called the influencer. Try to step outside of your box and show more than one dimension to yourself. Peel back some of those layers, because that's what we need to see. That we're having a new world order. That's what society needs to see. Because eventually, everything that you're trying to cover up with material things is going to come to the light. I say it all the time, everything done in the dark always comes to the light. And a lot of people who are on social media are actually broken, and they're looking for love, acceptance, and high esteem from strangers, and that they can't find themselves or their personal environment. And that is because instead of dealing with those issues, instead of being true to themselves, instead of, healing themselves, and sometimes you have to show your healing process. That's very important. Sometimes you have to show your healing process, because not only is it helping you, it's helping others. And sometimes you showing your healing process is what will actually help to heal you. Trust you, me, I know. That's how I started. That's how I started my healing wisdom. That was a part of my healing. Don't have too much pride. You don't have too much pride when you're showing all the good things that you have been blessed with. Don't have too much pride to show how you got there. Don't have too much pride to be like, okay, I need to step away from this and I need to work on that. Your self-worth should never, 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 never be dictated by what you have. It's what's on the inside that counts. Because if all those things are stripped away, what else do you have? What are you good for? What else can you do? That's just something to think about. And in all truth, people who show their more humanitarian and relatable side on social media, they've realized that true worth and value comes from how you make yourself feel. Right? It comes from within, and it comes from what the world, and that's what the world really needs to see in order to facilitate the necessary change. Because as I like to say all the time, it is a new world order that we have going on. It's time. Destroy and rebuild. That's what we've been doing. All those old facades that were set up to hold us back, we are destroying those. One of those facades is that social media flexing when your whole life is really shit in a flaming hot handbasket in real life. That's not what we need to do. So many people on social media are not truly happy, but they feel as though they, look what I got, look at my wrist, look at my chain, look at my watch. It's going to make it all better, and it's not. Because real eyes realize real lies. Remember that. And when it's all said and done and all the layers are peeled back, those people are not going to be looked at the same. They're not going to be looked at as authentic. And a lot of them are going to end up losing their platforms. Don't let that be you. That's why it's very, very important to be your true self. Nobody is perfect. And although social media likes to portray a lot of people as perfect and it likes to throw perfectionism out there as a real thing, there is no such thing. I'm not saying that you can't look good all the time, because like I said, I like to look good. I do. But at the same time, I have no problem with speaking about my flaws in the hopes that they can help others. And it should not take until something happens publicly for people to show the other side, because you talking about what you go through, you actually working on your problems and dealing with them instead of trying to cover them up. As I said before, it can not only help you, but it can help others who look up to you on your platform. So I really do hope that a lot of influencers, and social media flexers and flaunters and whatnot, I really hope that this video catches you and you take it with a grain of salt, because it's time for change. It's time for change. It's very important. The time is now. Do not let your self-worth be dictated by what your perceived look is, by your likes and your follows. Don't sell your soul for the clout. Be true to yourself. You have people that look up to you. You have people watching you. And with that being said, don't forget to check out all my videos on YouTube at Empress Oracle 333. And also, too, I would love for you to go on my website and purchase you some crystals or some incense or whatever it is that you like. www.EmpressOracle333.com. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful day and be blessed.